My professional background is one that it's kind of, I like to think of as unique and kind of a moment of inspiration. I come from a family with no doctors in it, and so, but I decided that I wanted to practice medicine in the 7th grade. I had a 7th grade biology teacher by the name of Miss Canant who inspired me. She got me very interested in the human body and how it worked. And so that winter, I asked my parents for one gift for Christmas, and that was The Incredible Machine, which was a book put out by National Geographic about the human body and its inner workings. So the desire to be a physician started there in 7th grade, and I just kind of continued to foster it from that point on. I went to public high school here in Houston, and then I went to Rice University, where I graduated magna cum laude. Went to Southwestern in Dallas for my medical training, and then continued my residency in internal medicine at Baylor University Medical Center in Dallas as well. While I was attending Rice University, I had the opportunity to scrub in on a case at a diagnostic center with Dr. Leland Winston, who's a very well-known and celebrated orthopedic surgeon. And having been a Rice graduate himself, he invited me over to the operating theater to witness a knee replacement. And it was at that time, though I didn't go into surgery, it was at that time that it really confirmed for me that I in fact wanted to be a medical doctor. Well, I chose internal medicine because after doing my clinical rotations in medical school and having surveyed various specialties, I decided internal medicine was the best fit for me. Internal medicine physicians are typically known as very well-trained diagnosticians. In fact, one of the most cerebral of the disciplines. And I enjoy puzzles. I enjoy trying to figure out the various derangements that's going on in someone's body and doing what I can to remedy those problems. So internal medicine was a good fit for me. It allows things to remain interesting and fresh and new because you never know what's going to walk through your door. Other than the awesome feeling it is to actually intervene and save someone's life using your skills and know-how, I think one crowning achievement was being named one of the top 100 physicians in the United States, which I was privileged to be awarded about 2 years ago. And I think that was, for me, a particularly nice feather in my cap because I've always strived to obtain excellence every day that I practice medicine, and that was having the affirmation of that fact was particularly rewarding. Well, I think that I've been given a lot of opportunity in my life, coming from a good family, and I tried to improve other people's lives in medicine and otherwise. There are several students that I mentor, typically from low socioeconomic background, and I try to stay active, involved with them, working as a mentor, help them through with their studies and other other challenges that they face, whether they be socioeconomic, environmental, and try to instill in them the idea that they can, doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you're going. Unlike many professions, my profession defines me as a person. Medicine is if you truly embrace being a medical physician, then your life is all encompassed by the idea of healing and bettering of other people's lives. Not necessarily only through medications and diagnostic techniques, but more importantly being there for someone emotionally, medically, in a support network. And I've strived to make that an integral part of my daily life. To younger generations or younger men and women who are thinking about entering the profession of medicine, I'd like to make a few points on that matter. The key factor in having a successful and satisfying career in medicine would be the understanding that it all comes down to the doctor-patient relationship. You're only as good as your last patient. And despite managed care and the various pitfalls and pratfalls that one has to deal with when providing medical care to patients, at the beginning, diluted, or I should say distilled down to its common denominator, is the doctor-patient relationship. It's an idea of trust, a mutual trust, and a mutual understanding. That is where medicine in its greatest form lives. If I have to think about it in the most convenient definitions, my personal inspirations would be my parents. My parents, both being college graduates, but not born with the opportunities that I had, and I have to, every day that I know them more, I become more and more appreciative of the sacrifices they made for me and my siblings in order to give us an opportunity to achieve more than they were able to. And so I would say that my parents, particularly my grandparents, have been some of my biggest heroes. I think my legacy would be left for my nephews. I have 4 of them, and varying ages, and I think that I'm most proud of the fact that though he's young, one of my nephews has shown some interest in medicine, so I'm hopeful that I can nurture that, and I think that would be my legacy. Hopefully would be for my kin to look back with some pride and admiration that I was a life well lived. There is something bigger than oneself, that in order to really find a sense of happiness and contentment, you have to understand that there are other forces at work, however you name them, whether it's God, the great unknown, that there are things more important than yourself, and that if you work towards achieving goals for others, that you end up achieving happiness for yourself in the process. As I alluded to before, parents being some of my biggest heroes, but that has continued on. When I first started my practice, I asked my mother to accompany me, and she was actually, when we first started, just the 2 of us in the office. And I have to say that they are involved on a daily basis with my continued success and fulfillment. I'd like to be remembered as, first and foremost, a good, compassionate man, a good physician, and someone who put others in front of himself.